Good day. My name is Jibril Ibrahim from iMedia Networks. Today is the 20th day of June 2025, and the world is currently in a lot of tension, especially in the Middle East, where Israel has attacked Iran. This attack was started on June 12th, 2025, so that's about 8 days ago. And from looking at the information that is publicly available, digging as deep as is possible, I believe Israel has made a mistake, and there are three reasons why I think so. The third one is actually so profound, I don't think Israel can do anything about that. In spite of the fact that Israel is the country that has nuclear weapons, but in spite of that, I still strongly believe that Iran will come out victorious. Israel will fail in achieving its objectives and is going to end up in a strategically worse situation than it was even before this attack. So let's start. The first reason why I think Israel would fail, would lose in this conflict that it started, is the objective that it stated, that it is the reason why it started the war and the objective it seeks to achieve. The Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, stated clearly that the objective or the reason why they are going after Iran and attacking Iran at this point in time is because they believe Iran must not get nuclear weapon, and Iran is on the verge of achieving nuclear weapon capacity. So they must take down whatever nuclear program they have so that it's never able to achieve nuclear weapons. And for context, to achieve nuclear weapon status, you need a number of things. Two of them are key. One is the fuel, the highly enriched uranium, which is enriching uranium to more than 95% purity. Secondly is to build the warheads. And third is to have the means of delivering the warheads to potential targets. So, which is where the second objective of Israel comes from. That is stopping the ballistic missiles, the missile programs of Iran. The delivery method that Iran is believed to be taking will be to have ground launchers and ballistic missile programs that can potentially take a warhead. So Israel believes Iran is gathering the highly enriched uranium for the bombs, for the warheads. It is perfecting extensively and accumulating ballistic missiles that could potentially carry nuclear weapons. So these are two things that Israel believes it must destroy: the nuclear program and the ballistic missile program. Now, these two objectives are completely unachievable for Israel. Israel started this war on June 12th as a surprise attack in the midnight by sending about 200 fighter jets over Jordan, Iraq, Syria, Jordan, Iraq, to the edge of Iran. So for Israel, the first objective of attacking Iran at this time is to destroy all forms of enrichment capacity that Iran has, both at the various enrichment plants, and also destroy any reactors that they might have where they could test and build the warheads. And then that's all related to the nuclear program. Kill all the scientists associated with it, kill all the military leaders associated with their ability to build the weapons, the nuclear weapon. And then secondly is to destroy all capacity for ballistic missile development and launching, which includes the various launch platforms, both the mobile ones and the silos from where Iran could potentially launch ballistic missiles. Israel is relying on the fact that if it can strike first, what is called shock and awe, to strike so hard that all these people will be killed, all the scientists will have been assassinated, all the military leaders will have been assassinated, and the ability for Iran to respond through the ballistic missiles will all have been completely destroyed within those first few hours, and Iran will just be helpless and not be able to respond or do anything about it. Well, it's 1 week into it, we have seen that this was gross miscalculation, and that objective is looking more and more far away from being achievable. First is that many of the military leaders and the scientists that Israel has killed have all been replaced, and there doesn't seem to be a sign of a collapse in Iran's ability to move on from those initial shock. Secondly, a lot of the nuclear facilities that Israel carried out those early strikes on are highly protected in a manner that a lot of what Israel has damaged are the surface level components, like the administrative buildings and the rest. The real enrichment capacity in most of those places are underground, and they are largely intact. To make matters worse, the most advanced and the most capable of Iran's nuclear enrichment plants and warhead development reactors are largely in Fordo. Some of the most advanced ones are the ones in Fordo and in another one called the Piku Head. These ones are so deep underground that there is no way Israel could strike any of them with the kind of capacity that Israel has. The depth of the Fordo nuclear enrichment facility is known to be about 100 meters. That's like 300 feet. Israel does not have any bomb that can go beyond 10 meters, which is like 30 feet. So there was no way they were going to destroy Fordo by themselves. So the objectives of one, destroying the nuclear plants, is not achievable, and they cannot even achieve it by themselves without the help of America. Two, destroying the ballistic missile capacity and programs of Iran has also failed, because many of these things are also so stored underground that one is wondering what was the plan. So many of these missiles are still active, and there are even so many that even America and the world did not know about that Iran had, and they are just unveiling them layer by layer. And for Iran, in terms of this, their own objective is to revenge for whatever Israel has done to them, and they are so effectively revenging and responding. So Israelis' thought of even crippling their missile program so they can't respond has failed. We have seen how multiple missiles have been rained into Israel. A lot of them were intercepted, but those were mostly slow flying drones and the rest. But most of the hypersonic and even the ballistic missiles have been seen to have gone through. And Israel's much touted Iron Dome has shown to largely been more of a paper dome than an iron dome. And the rest of the missile defense system of like the David Sling, the Arrow 2 and Arrow 3 have largely all failed, including even the American Patriot system and even the highest category of air defense in the world, which is the THAAD system, that is supposed to even intercept missiles while they are outside the atmosphere before they come back down into to land. All these have not been able to stop Iranian missiles. So this first objective of destroying the ballistic missile program, destroying the nuclear program, has obviously failed. The second reason why I think Israel is losing and will ultimately lose in this conflict is geopolitics and international public opinion. Because Israel attacked Iran first, preemptively, without notice, it has made Israel to be the aggressor in this case. So it's making it difficult for even people that would traditionally support Israel not to be able to come out to support them. Some countries in Western Europe, like France and UK, are finding it difficult to come out in full support of Israel. Conversely, if you look at Iran, many of his supporters are able to step up, and many countries in the world are able to condemn Israel and be in support of Iran. Typically, countries like Pakistan, Russia, China are countries that would be cautious in interfering in other countries' affairs. But in this case, they are able to come out boldly in support of Iran. While even America, which is like the biggest supporter of Israel, he has to be careful, and Donald Trump is even saying that no, we knew about it, but we are not a part of it. Israel is not able to easily call on America to support it in the attack. This is because it is the aggressor, obviously, in this case. Unlike when you had the October 7 attack on Israel, even many people that were traditional supporters of the Palestinian cause found it difficult to articulate their support for the Hamas, for the Palestinians, because they kept being reminded that it was Hamas or the Palestinians that attacked first. But in this case, the tables are turned, and Israel is the aggressor, and it's making it difficult for their reputation. When you mix this, being an aggressor, with the fact that even the aggression is not working, it's creating a massive credibility damage for Israel. Because a lot of countries normally fears Israel and the sophistication of their weapons and everything. So when you now have your whole air defense system not being able to defend you, then why should I buy from you? So this will also create a lot of challenges for Israel commercially. Globally, Israel is one of the top sellers of military and weapons in the world. But when your whole Iron Dome starts looking like a plastic dome, then it's difficult for you to sell those kind of things on the international stage. Iran, on the other hand, is getting, the international support at the UN at various levels, and his own supporters are able to boldly come out. As we speak now, the president of Russia, Vladimir Putin, even mentioned like 2 days ago that they are on standby, they are behind Iran, and Iran is just that Iran has not asked for their help. If they are called upon, they are definitely on ground for them. And additionally, if you look at the posture of China, you see they are in a way more, in fact, I would say it's one of the most offensive or military posture that you ever see from China. A few days ago, Chinese aircrafts, cargo planes, were the only thing that were seen flying into Iran from anywhere in the world. And even as at this morning, Chinese electronic warfare ships, like 2 of them, were seen sailing to the coast of Iran to potentially provide data and signal intelligence support to the Iranian team and everything. So all these are possible because Israel can be clearly seen as the aggressor while Iran is seen as the victim. And this is a second situation where I believe that Iran will come out victorious in this campaign, in this conflict, and Israel is ultimately going to lose in this conflict. Now, the third point, which, like I said, is probably the most important one, is to look at the nature of this conflict. It has turned to a tit-for-tat kind of war. Israel flies fighter jets to go and drop precision weapons on Iran, while Iran shoots a barrage of missiles into Israel, targeting various facilities and everything. So ultimately, it's turning into what could be seen as a war of attrition. Who can burn down the other person more? Now, if you look at Israel and Iran, Israel is very small compared to Iran. Iran is like 100 times bigger than Israel. Not 10 times, 100 times bigger than Israel. Iran has a landmass of about 1.6 million square kilometers, while Israel has barely less than 25,000 square kilometers. 25,000 square kilometers against a country that is 1,600 square kilometers large. And if you are talking of population, Israel has a population barely 10 million people versus Iran that has about 92 million people. So if you look at Israel, it's a thin strip. There is a point in Israel around Tel Aviv that is just 70 kilometers wide. So where can you hide? Where can you really fight ongoing continuous battles? How many cities are in Israel? While some of these cities might be highly sophisticated, like Tel Aviv, Haifa, and some of these other cities, how many are they? Where the whole thing is there in the open. Unlike Iran that has so much, that has such rocky mountains, they have so many places to hide things. So when you are doing tit for tat, population for population, Iran is way larger than Israel. Now, not just this population, fine, you can have a population that is ineffectual, but Iran's population has been sanctioned for so many years, so they've built internal capacity. And then more importantly is the fact that the allies of Iran are massive industrial powerhouse. Russia, China are the production capacities of the world. Just in the last 1 week, the Secretary General of NATO, Mark Rutte, admitted publicly Russia alone produces more than the whole of NATO, which is America and Europe combined. He said Russia, what the whole of NATO produces in 1 year, Russia will produce it in 3 months. Russia, one country. Now you have such a production, a weapons powerhouse behind Iran. So if you go into a war of attrition with such a country, with such an alliance, you would lose. Not to talk of the other country like China, which is also an open supporter of Iran, is also known to be the to be the factory, the industry of the whole world. Is bigger in its industrial capacity than probably the whole world combined. So when you talk of industrial capacity, ability to continue to produce, provide, to sustain a conflict, Iran has more weapons, has more land, has more people than Israel. So at the end of the day, this makes it almost impossible for Israel to achieve or win in this conflict through conventional means. So, in a nutshell, if we look at the 3 points, 1, the objective that Israel has stated cannot be achieved. 2, the public opinion, the international geopolitics is against Israel. 3, the industrial capacity of Israel and its allies are small compared to the industrial capacity of Iran and its allies. But we still have the issue of the nuclear bomb. What if Israel uses the nuclear bomb? What of the threat of the nuclear bomb, which has been like the scare card that Israel has been using on the Arabs for so long? The truth of the matter is now the game is quite different. Iran has allies that has even more weapons than Israel and its supporters. When you are talking of allies like Pakistan, Russia, and China, so it is almost a mutually assured destruction that if you use your nuclear weapon on Tehran, on Iran, Iran has friends that has even bigger nuclear weapons than you. So that card will be difficult to play out because you both know it's mutually assured destruction. So we can almost take that card off the table because it won't end well for anyone. It's total destruction for everybody. These are the reasons why I feel Iran is going to overcome in this. Not without, Iran will suffer, is already suffering a lot, but ultimately Israel will fail in its objectives, will lose a lot more than Iran is going to lose. And at the end of the day, Iran is likely to be able to claim victory at the end of the conflict, while Israel cannot. As we speak currently, Israel is estimated to have lost close to $500 billion. That's like $500 billion worth of damages and destruction in terms of their infrastructure and national assets. In the first 1 week of the conflict, Israel has fired probably $30 billion worth of missiles and equipment, and they've been countered by barely $5 billion worth of missiles and drones. So we can see that ultimately this war is not going in favor or in the direction that Israel had wished or planned for. That's my analysis for today based on openly available information. If you have a different opinion or share your ideas if you agree with me or disagree with my analysis. And don't forget to like and subscribe. My name remains Jibril Ibrahim. I'll see you in the next one.